Hi there. So we're continuing, and now it's time to talk about how it is that we can move to accessing our inner wisdom. We talked about the fact that we are blocked, right? What are we blocked from? And the answer is both something inside of us and something that's all around us. These are really two sides of the same thing that we have come to be blocked from. And we've come here, the reason why we're here on this planet, in this reality, is so that we can break through these blocks and return to this inner wisdom. We can heal the disconnection from who we really are, the disconnection from this force of intelligence, higher intelligence around us that our inner wisdom is connected to. And so that's what we're talking about here. And really to understand that our inner wisdom and this higher intelligence, we have different words for it. These are really just two sides of the same thing. And when we became blocked for whatever reason, we became disconnected from our essence and from this higher intelligence that's around us, that our soul, that our inner essence is connected to and is receiving wisdom from, can receive wisdom from and be guided by in each and every moment. And this is one of the core principles of this system of healing, that really we have to reconnect. We have to heal this disconnection in order to be able to reach our goal, because there is something that's blocking us. This inner wisdom knows how to get us to the goal, and that goal comes from the inner wisdom. So we're meant to reach that goal, and we're going to reach that goal. And any obstacles and challenges that come up are really coming up to enable us to see the blocks and to break through the blocks. So how do we break through the blocks? We talked about that a bit. We're going to go deeper now as we get into this subject of reconnecting with our inner wisdom. And this brings us to talking about our mind, because the higher wisdom, our inner wisdom, now I'm going to also call it our higher wisdom, which can also be called our higher mind. We also have what is called our lower mind. Our lower mind corresponds to most of all the thoughts that we're having all the time, that are usually being generated by not that higher self, but rather a lower self, which I'm going to call our ego, or we can call it our desires, our survival instinct, and all those places of disconnection. All of these things, ego, feeling of disconnection, survival, desire, all related to the ego, really generate the thoughts, most of the thoughts that we're having, and comprise of our lower mind. And all of these things cut us off from our higher mind, our higher wisdom. So this is something really important we need to understand and start working with to break through and to access that higher wisdom that is here waiting. It's here, literally, it's here, but we're blocked. So we want to start, as I've talked about already, number one, gaining more awareness now of this lower mind. And as we begin to just basically observe our mind, I'm giving you a mind mapping exercise of observing your mind, observing your thoughts. These are the lower thoughts. These are all the thoughts being generated from the lower mind that are associated with ego, with survival, protecting yourself, disconnection, trauma from the past, things that you've learned that are false. So you're going to just observe your mind, and you're going to spend time every day for at least just a week. This is not a long-term thing, but a week, or you can take a little bit longer. You want to write down patterns of the things that repeat, especially things that are negative. And, write down thoughts associated with food. Write down any thoughts that are negative about yourself that come up. And you're going to think also, when there are patterns that you get sucked into, you want to become aware of what are the thoughts going through your head before you start giving in to cravings or any other negative pattern. Let's say you want to exercise, but it doesn't happen. What are those thoughts that you tell yourself that take you away from this higher knowing of what's really best for you? So I want you to write that all down. And I want you to understand that we are working with the conscious and the subconscious mind. By observing your mind, you are literally going to be taking things from your subconscious mind and bringing them into your conscious mind, which is what needs to happen in order to begin to start changing what is in the lower mind. And the goal here, what we're working towards, is we are working to align the lower mind with the higher mind, or I should maybe say make it more transparent, so we are not blocking ourselves from our higher mind that has wisdom. So basically, in this observation process, that is where we're developing this transparency on the lower mind. We are slowly becoming less and less attached, identified with these thoughts. They are never going to completely go away. However, the more and more we can see it for what it is, the less and less it's going to block us. So we will be able to access the higher mind, because when we're not totally identified with that lower mind, it can be there. But what's going to happen is that we are going to become more and more identified with our higher mind. And then the lower mind is just here, and we use it to help us in whatever needs to be healed, because the healing continues. So we always want to look at the lower mind and see what's there, because that is going to show us the way forward. That is going to show us the way to our higher mind, to our inner wisdom. So this is the work we have. We have this work of sharpening our awareness of what's in the lower mind, writing all these things down with the intention that we are going to be using all of this to reconnect to our higher mind. We are going to be shifting our perspective so that all of a sudden these thoughts in the lower mind are no longer blocking us we are no longer, our identity is no longer attached and bound to the lower mind. So we see it. So that is why you're also getting a meditation technique for going up. And that is all about going up to this higher intelligence that is all around us. And then in the very beginning, your week 1, you had a technique of going in. So you've been practicing that. So now you practice going up. There's different ways to do it. There's a ladder technique that you can ask me about, but this one is what I'm going to give you to use to practice going up to that higher intelligence that's also within you. Then you have a technique this week that you're going to use to begin breaking and releasing, not breaking, releasing these limiting beliefs that you are going to observe, that you're observing now, that you have in the lower mind. And that's the 0 point technique. So that's what I want you to focus on this week, with the intention that this is all about you becoming realigned with your higher mind, with your inner wisdom, your higher wisdom, and these lower wisdom, this lower mind. Okay, these teachings come from several places, one of which is Kabbalistic teachings about the higher wisdom, and then what's called the lower wisdom, but it's not so much wisdom, and it is false, actually. So I want you to just begin to see these different parts of yourself, and you're going to begin to slowly be feeling more and more connected to your inner wisdom, less identified and attached with the lower mind and all the thoughts that are generated from your ego that are producing many thousands of thoughts that are separating you from your wisdom. And so that is what is before you. You're bringing from your subconscious to your conscious so that you can begin to dissolve all of those things in your subconscious that have been affecting your life, that you want to change, but you haven't known how. That is this practice of observing. Very simple, bringing to your conscious mind what was in your subconscious, all the patterns, the beliefs. It is just about awareness, bringing it into your conscious mind, and then begin using that 0 point technique to release the beliefs. And there's also another very just simple process I take you through that can help you to dissolve the beliefs. And then we will pick that up with even more next week. Okay.